Hey there, it's Faith Talk Live. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Radcliffe.
Hey, we're pumped to talk to this gentleman, Eddie Huff. First of all, Dan is so excited because he and Dan went to the same. They are brothers, Texas Tech brothers,
Yes,
and
we
I
are.
saw that. It's interesting. Hey, first of all, Eddie, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Eddie's got a new book, but it's the first thing that popped out of me on the bio was I saw Texas Tech, and I said, Dan is going to have a fit.
This is a good man right here, Eddie Huff.
A little bit about Eddie. He's got a brand new book, short and sweet. The title, Y'all Have Sinned. And that's not just for Rick and Dan. That's for all of us. It's a great book. And he's got a podcast we're going to talk about in a few. Eddie was born to a single German mom and a Black American. He's got quite a story. Freshman at Texas Tech University. He became a Black radical hippie. His life transformed, and he worked with YWAM for years in Amsterdam. And he's had a radio show, a local show in Oklahoma there for 6 years, written books and articles, just rocking the planet for Jesus. Eddie, where do you want to begin? You have such a story. This takes a book to talk about you. What is the book about?
Essentially, the book is about the misconception that there's such a thing as white guilt. Everybody has guilt. That's why I said y'all. And what I like to do, if I do a public speaking thing, I like to take the y'all and I do this.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
Because it's really all have sinned and come short. I mean, we all know this, right? But all of a sudden of late, it's like you white folks. It's you. Nobody else. We're all clean. We've done nothing. And so the book is it's a socio-political, but it deals with biblical history, world history, and just essentially the history of mankind, how everyone has abused everyone. And it takes us through from essentially Adam or Cain and Abel all the way through. And I go from continent to continent to show what atrocities we've all done to each other. And so no one's guiltless. I leave nobody untouched. in fact, in the intro, I say, if I haven't already made you mad, don't worry, I'll get to you. And I deal with liberals, I deal with conservatives, I make everybody, I hit even, I touch St. Ronald Reagan, some errors, some mistakes he's made. So, I mean, it's more leaning towards conservatives than the other side, of course. But I do show that, again, we're not guiltless, where everyone shares in this thing called sin. And how the ultimate thing in the end, to wrap it all up, the ultimate thing that is very important is forgiveness. We have to forgive. And without forgiveness, there's no end to this. There's no end. And it started out, really, the book was written, it was geared towards the Black community, especially the Black church. And I talk about how at Tech, how, Dan, when I was there, I was a freshman. I had come from Germany. My dad was military. And my first day on campus, a couple of cowboys came by and they saw me walking with all my bags. I'm 6,000 miles from home. I'd never been to Lubbock, Texas. And they ride up and the window comes down. And the guy spits his little chew out and says, "What's going on, spook?"
Oh, man.
And no, but in a way, it's funny because, I started laughing instead of being terrified. I started laughing because it was like, welcome to Tech, welcome to Lubbock. And so this was my welcome. And I just started laughing and they looked at each other and said, like, this N-word is crazy, and they took off, but this was my welcome. And so I was supposed to have a double room. And instead I got a private room because when the guy found out I was Black, he decided he wanted a room somewhere else. And but it's funny, I guess, I don't know what it is. Maybe I wasn't saved or anything at the time, but it's like God had already put this thing in me, or my dad, somebody put it in me, to not worry about it. But I saw it as a kind of as a blessing. I got a single room for twin room rates, you know.
Wow, that's great. Yeah.
So I had a single room my whole freshman year, and my parents only had to pay for a half a room rate.
That's
so
awesome.
I've always been able to do this, just not. But I became kind of radicalized. I was a Black Panther wannabe, and got off into the drugs and into the Black militancy and everything. And then I graduated, and I found myself empty. And a little Black hippie kid led me to the Lord.
Wow.
And my first week in the Lord, all I did was go around judging people how racist they were or not. And if you didn't come with open, oh, brother, welcome, we love you, da, da, da. I said, oh, there's a racist, there's a racist. Oh, right. I had my scale. And the Lord spoke to me one day, said, Eddie, you're not going to make it. You're just not going to survive like this. So I want you to do 3 things. First of all, get over yourself. It's not about you. These people have other problems. And later, I even wrote an article once about how, just getting over yourself, that white people don't wake up every morning thinking about how they can mess over Black people. I mean, some people, when you hear the news, it's almost like whites have nothing else on their mind from the moment they wake up till they put their heads down at night. Then how can I mess over Black people today? You know, I mean, it's like they don't have families, they don't have jobs, they don't have anything. Their only mission each day is how can I mess over, or how can I mess with gay people, or how can I mess with Hispanics or Asians, or that. You would think they have so much time every day that all they can do is think about how to be racist or how to be whatever, sexist or whatever it is.
Yeah. And
God showed me, get over yourself. These people have their own issues, their boss at work, their wives, their kids, their school, their whatever. And so he said, that was the first thing, get over yourself. They're not thinking about you, a bunch of them. The next group, yeah, they have issues, but look at you. Look what happened to you in 4 years in Lubbock, Texas. Look how screwed up you got. So it's going to take some of these people 10, 20, 30 years. It's going to take me a little longer to get it out of them, but I'll use you to do it. And then the last group, it'll never happen, but just like I hardened Pharaoh's heart, I'll harden theirs. But I will replace 10 times with love for you, whatever you receive in hatred from them.
Wow.
And I said, hey, I can't refuse that.
Wow.
So I accepted the offer, and man, here I am 50 years later. God has blessed my life. It's been good. And so that's what a lot of this book, but it deals with history and a lot of different things that I think there'll be some information in there that you'll never have read or seen before. And it's pretty interesting. So anyway.
Wow. That's awesome.
That's now, a long way around.
What is it that, you talk about how the media, they like to stoke division, and it just seems like it's getting worse and worse and worse. Why do you think that is?
Because it has to. It always has to. It has to grow. In other words, like what worked yesterday, it becomes common tomorrow.
That's
so
true.
You have to push it, and you have to keep pushing. It's like I've been watching the world championships, the track and field championships, and we thought Usain Bolt was great, or Carl Lewis or whatever,
right?
But that was yesterday. So we have to break that record.
Yeah.
So what we considered maybe racist or a little bit, which really was racist probably in 1969 when I came to Lubbock, Texas.
Right.
That's not racist. I mean, nobody does that anymore. Nobody's going to walk up to a black kid and say, hey, spook.
Yeah.
Or if they do, they're out of their mind. Right. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So what do we do now? Now we have to, we have to conjure up. You've got black people faking, fake racist attacks. A black kid hangs nooses on doors and all of a sudden it's in the news, or everything is bad. oh, he looked at me bad, and all of a sudden it's in the news or something like that. So everything has now been construed as racist and so forth, or sexist, or this or this.
Right.
You know, you tell a young lady, oh, you look really nice in that. Oh, he harassed me.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you can't say anything to it.
Right.
You know, oh, and then now on the other side, oh, you never compliment me. You know, so now guys are just messed up. You know, what do? I can't say she looks nice. I can't
not say that she looks nice.
Yeah, exactly. So we're just messed up. You know, no wonder guys are messed up. But that's why the media has to keep ginning this up to try to stay ahead of, you know, NBC has to stay ahead of ABC, and ABC has to stay ahead of CBS and MSNBC, you know, all of this. Right. And that's why it's happening like this. And it's not just in this issue, it's everything. Right. Ukraine, you know, they make it so much worse. We almost have to make Ukraine sound bad to keep us involved and to push this. I really feel very bad for the people of Ukraine, because I almost think it's a needless war, and it's being driven by the media. It's, you know, I think it could have been settled way back if somebody had just sat down and said, wait a minute, what do you want and what do you want? Somewhere we can meet in the middle without wiping out all these towns and all these people. I mean, this is crazy.
Yeah.
So
we're talking with Eddie Huff. He's got a brand new book. Love this. It is called Y'all Have Sinned. And he's also got a podcast, Fresh Black. Is it .coffee.podbean.com?
No, it's just freshblackcoffee.podbean.com.
Yeah, check that out. And Eddie, what a story. Hey, if you're up for it, we'd love to get you back and dig a little more, maybe in the fall if you're up for it. And we want people to read your book, and we want people to listen to your podcast. And
drink some coffee. I mean, you got plenty of coffee behind you there too.
Oh, so. Yeah. It's Ugandan Mist. It's we support orphans in Uganda. So awesome. That's what that's about.
Very good stuff. Check it all out. Eddie Huff. Dan, if you'll put his website there it is, freshblackcoffee.podbean.com, and you can find out more. We got to take
and you can get the book on Amazon, or Amazon. The audio book is there also. So
did you record the audio book or
the tablet? I don't have the audio book yet, but it's okay. But you can get the Kindle version. Yeah.
Awesome.
Love it. Eddie Huff. Hey, we got to take a break. We'll be right back. I'm Rick Probst.
And I'm Dan Ratcliffe.
This is Faith Talk Live.